Permiso, buenas tardes.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome, 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 welcome. My name is Mansour. My last name is Mansouri. Welcome to this webinar. I really thank Andres Rodriguez for inviting me to take part in this fantastic webinar on body language and EFL and ESL learning and teaching. Andres?
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, my friends. How are you? I hope you enjoyed this wonderful webinar because we have our special guest. Welcome, Mansour.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here. Okay, shall we start?
Yes, sure. You can use your screen and you can share all the things that you can use for this session.
Amazing. So to start, I want everybody to write in the chat box or show a reaction if you can see me and if you can hear me loud and clear. Please just show a reaction or write something in the chat box so that I can see that everybody can hear me, everybody can see me loud and clear without any issues or problem. All right? Good. Just in the chat box, or show a reaction. Good, awesome, thank you. My name is Mansour. My last name is Mansouri. I'm very happy to be here. It's been a couple of years that I started living in South America, this beautiful continent in this part of the world. And I have been teaching English in many countries around the world. And I study, I teach NLP and body language communication skills as a passion, as a side hustle, as that little baby that we all have. And one day we have to grow that baby. So I'm very happy to be here with all of you guys. I have taught English for 12 years. I'm a body language specialist and a trainer. Here we can see some of the pictures on my classes before the pandemic and during the pandemic, as we all are living during this different time, I can say, a time that is a big experience for all of us. I also teach communication skills, and currently I'm a EFL, ESL professor at USFQ. For those of you who have joined this webinar from other countries, USFQ stands for University of San Francisco, Quito. It's one of the universities in Ecuador, and well, I teach English there. This is where I originally come from. This is the country where I originally come from Iran, and Tehran is the capital city of the country where I am originally from. These are the countries that I have worked, visited, lived, enjoyed, and gained a lot of experiences. I started my journey from Turkey, then I went to Brazil for a short time. I taught English in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, and then I lived in the Dominican Republic for a time, and then, of course, in Bolivia. That's where I learned my Spanish. And then currently I'm living in this beautiful country in Ecuador, and let's see what life decides. So, what we're talking about today is the importance of NLP, neuro linguistic programming, in building a good relationship with our students, with our friends, with our family members, with our loved ones, with anybody whom we are in contact with. And then we will talk about a short history of body language. What is it? Where is it coming from? And what are you even talking about body language in this pandemic? And why is it important even in the pandemic? Is it even important learning, applying positive body language? And then we want to talk about the importance of body language and environment. If we are in cold weather, if we are in hot weather, if we are in uncomfortable situations, etc. Now, to continue, first, we want to talk about NLP, neuro linguistic programming. We all have this programming in us as human beings. All the animal kingdom, including human being, has the ability to see, hear, smell, taste, touch. We see each other, we can hear, we can smell, we can taste, we can touch. If it's our birthday, I believe some of us here have their birthdays this month, specifically today. So we can see, hear, smell, taste, touch, the animal kingdom, and of course, us as human beings. But not all of us have the power to use their will, perception, imagination. And by our neuro-linguistic programming, we have the power, we gain this power to take control of the things that are going around us. So, what is this programming? It's like we all have cell phones, right? I want everybody to show their cell phones to the camera, or to show that you have cell phones. Show your cell phones to the camera. Show these cell phones of yours to the camera. I want to see everybody's cell phones to the camera. Show it to me. Show your cell phones to the camera. Let's see how many people are here. Show your cell phones to the camera. Good, good. This cell phone that we all have and we all are using, it has a programming. This programming in the cell phone works fantastically. We use it to text, to receive messages, to send videos, voice messages. We have the same, even more complicated type of programming in our own mind called neuro-linguistic programming. Let's see what is it about and how it works. I want everybody to, we have an activity right now here. I want to see some of the faces here, some of the happy, beautiful faces here. We have an activity. I want everybody to take a sheet of paper, whatever it is, just take a sheet of paper. Show this paper to the camera, please. Show this paper to me, to the camera. Let me see these happy faces this afternoon. Show this paper to me. Take a sheet of paper and show this paper to me, please. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Show this paper to me. Show it to me. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Show it to me. If you can, turn on your camera so that I can see these happy, beautiful faces this afternoon on Saturday. That will be really fantastic. I would love to see your faces. Show me just a piece of paper. Then we want to do an activity. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi. Thank you. We want to do an activity. Now, I want you to draw 5 shapes on this sheet of paper that you are holding. But you have to close your eyes. You have to promise to close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes. So let's do it together. Let's all of us do it together. I want you to close your eyes. Let's all do it together. I want you to draw. First, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Don't look on that sheet of paper, with a pen or pencil that you have. Let's draw these shapes. Number 1, I want you to draw a square. Please draw a square. But remember, your eyes are closed. Your eyes are completely closed. You don't look at it. You can't see that. Exactly. On a sheet of paper. Try to draw. Okay, wait. You don't need to show that. Wait. The next shape is going to be a triangular. Triangular. Please draw a triangular on that sheet of paper next to the square without looking. Okay, good. Next, please try to draw S, capital S, the letter S. Try to draw it on that sheet of paper, that capital S, big capital S. Good, very good, lovely. Show me your thumbs if you did it. Just show your thumbs to me without looking, without opening your eyes. Show your thumbs to me. Lovely, good, good, good. Next shape, shape number 4 will be square, a square. We will, sorry, it was a square, a circle. Sorry, my bad, my mistake. A circle. Shape number 4 is a circle. Good, 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 good. A circle. Good. Do not show the paper yet. Do not show the paper yet. Don't worry. Do not show the paper. And the last shape is going to be a rectangular. A rectangular. I want you to draw a rectangular, like this cell phone that I have here. It's a rectangular. Good.
I got it.
Awesome. A rectangular. Lovely. Good. Now, what do we want to do? Let's take a look at here. We drew, so on our paper, on this sheet of paper, we drew a square, a triangular, S, capital S, a circle, and then rectangular. Why did we do this exercise? What is this activity? Why did you do that? Let's look at the next shape. Our neurotic system is shaped in a way that when we think, when we are in delicate situation, when we are in a situation where we have to decide about something, or where, when or where we have to make a decision that is a little bit difficult for us, our neurotic system, the neurons in our brain, will have the shape of these shapes that you drew on the paper. Now, you drew these shapes on the paper. One of these shapes should be dominant. What does it mean? It means if you look, most of your shapes, 95% of your shapes look like one of them. For example, if I want to draw a square, I will draw something like a triangular. It means that my neurotic system forces me, pushes me to draw a triangular. So I'm a triangular personality. I have a triangular personality. Then what is it? And how can I use it? And what are you even talking about? And what is it? So, okay, let's take a look at it.
It's be radical.
Uh-huh.
Okay, no change.
Okay, no, there's no change. All right. Okay. What about others? What shape is the dominant for you? If you want to look at all the shapes that you drew, which one looks like the rest? Like, which one looks like the rest? All right.
The letter S and the
S.
rectangle.
Okay.
S.
Very good,
S.
very good. We have S, very good. These are the types of our personalities, and these are very, very interesting. We want to know what they show in us, what type of our personality features they represent. So we have S. What else? What else? What else? What else? Which one represents your personality? You can unmute yourself and say, or write it in the chat box if you want to. Which one of these shapes represents your personality? Which one? Which, Andres, would you like, which one would represent?
In my case, the letter S and the rectangle.
Okay, very nice. Okay, yeah. Square.
Square.
All right, all right. Very nice, very nice. Okay, let's take a look at these shapes once again. We drew a square, a triangular, S, circle, and then one rectangular. What do they show about us, and what do they talk to us? What do they say? We all are teachers here. Some of us are learners, and we have people around us, our family, friends, students, relatives, and we are dealing with different types of personalities. So what happens if a person is having a square personality? People who have a square personality are usually strict. They have their own rules and laws. They are very punctual. Discipline is very important for them. Like if you want to go out with them, you have to be very careful. 7 o'clock means 7 o'clock, not 7:15, not 7:30. They will be very angry. So if we are a teacher and our type of personality is a square, we have to make sure that our students understand this and we become a little bit more flexible. The second type, let's go to the second type. Triangular is the competitive type. The triangular type of personality is always in the desire, having the desire of competing with others, always being the best, doing better than yesterday. They always live in the future. They have a lot of anxiety of the future too, because mostly they live in the future. We have students who have triangular personality. What does it show? It shows that those students want to compete. They want to compete over a different material, over a score, a grade, different homework. So we can use this in our class and to our own benefits, to use this in a better way. S, what does it show? They are the party people. Woo! They're the party guys. They always are in favor of parties, going out, birthdays. They live in the moment, right now, in this moment. They live in this moment and they enjoy the moment so much. So they love parties, they love talking to others, they love interacting with other people, they love talking about good things that are fun and talking about parties, going out, travel. They have S type of personality. Next one. Circle. I have a friend, a close friend of mine. I have a circular type of personality who is a very close friend of mine. These kind of people are very, very, very outgoing. They have like 2,000 friends. If you look if you check their phones, their WhatsApp, their Facebook, they have like 2,000 friends and they talk to all of them. They are very good at conversations. They are very good at starting conversations. But their challenge is that they don't finish a thing. Like if they start reading a book, they might probably never finish that book. This is their challenge. They are very good. They're outgoing. When they go out, they talk to others. They don't have, they're not shy. They talk to other people. They talk to strangers, and they're pretty much fine with that. And the last type is the one, rectangular, is the one that does not drink coffee with anyone. They have their own specific type of coffee. They go to specific places. They hang out with the specific people. So they're like mostly like Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones. Who has watched Game of Thrones? Raise your hands if you have watched Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, this series, if you have watched it. Like Daenerys Targaryen, this type of personality that rules. They're the best type of personality, of course. They rule. They decide what happens. Their challenge, of course, is that they don't consider others as people that they can hang out with. So they're the tough type. We want to make sure to learn how to deal with this type of personality if they're our students in the class too. So in the chat box, which personality is the best in your opinion? In the chat box, please, in the chat box, right? Which type of these personalities that we just learned in our students for our in our teachers, family members, which type of personality is the best? Write it in the chat box. In your opinion, in the chat box, please. I want to see everybody's opinions. I'm a rectangular person. Okay, very good, Karen. Good to know. I'm a rectangular person, I think. Okay, all right. Let's, Andres, can you help me with reading the chat, please?
Yeah, sure. Okay, Glendy says, I think so. She agreed with the rectangle. Karen says, I have a rectangular personality.
All right.
And Ali Risa says rectangular personality as well.
All right. Okay, good. Others would please write in the chat box.
Miriam says it would depend on what the person does, okay, for a living.
Great.
Jeanette says the letter S.
Very nice.
Okay.
Very good. Okay.
Glendy, I think other personalities are important to keep the diversity. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mansour, I have a question.
Of course.
What about if the person has a mixture of these different levels? So they don't have a predominant one, but they have 20% of this, 20% of this. They have equivalent. It could be possible.
Of course, that's a fantastic question. Absolutely, it is possible. However, we all have these types of personalities to some extent. However, when the situation becomes delicate, let's imagine a student tells something that you don't like to listen, you don't like to hear, or you are on the verge of fighting with somebody, or you want to make a tough decision in your life. One of these types of personalities becomes like it comes to the surface and it becomes prominent. And that is the type of personality that is your dominant, right? So these types of personalities show themselves in us when we are in a delicate situation, when we have to make a decision, when we have to do something and we are under pressure, or when we are under the pressure of the deadline of something. So one
Mhm.
of these types of personalities comes to the surface. Let's read some of the
Mhm.
other opinions in the chat box. We have Mercedes. Mine, I have the same size. Karen says, for my students, I would like they could have a rectangular and circular personalities. Very good. Miriam says, could that depend on where? Exactly, Miriam. It depends on the situation. If you're in a delicate situation where you have to make a decision, or when
Yeah.
you're angry, when someone insults you, then one of these types of personalities show themselves more. Louisa said, in my opinion, rectangular, triangular, S, and circular, but I rather triangular and S. Okay. Karen says, I would like to be S person. That's the fun one. That's the party one.
Yes,
That's the best
exactly.
one. That's the fun one. Very good. Lana says, I got a circle personality. Yes, I know that. I know. Vanna is a good friend of mine. Very good. Okay, moving on. Going to the next part. Now, talking about handshake and what it shows in our personality. We want to do an activity right now together. I want everybody, please, if you can turn on your camera so that I can see these happy, beautiful faces this afternoon. That's going to be really fantastic. I will love it so much. I want you to keep your hand in front of the camera like this.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Lovely, lovely faces, happy faces. Good. I love to see these happy faces on this afternoon, on this Saturday. Keep your hand like this in front of the camera. Please, everybody. Andres, please, everybody keep your hand like this in front of the camera. Let's do an activity right now. Like this. We are trying to shake hands with somebody. So let's consider 3 positions. Position number 1, it's facing downwards. Let's do it together. Let's all of us do it together. Again, if you can turn on your cameras, I would be very happy to see your faces, and let's see if we can do it together. Facing downwards. If my hand is facing downwards while shaking hands with somebody. Position number 2, straight. I shake hands with somebody straight. Straight. It's a straight. And position number 3 would be facing upwards. My hand is facing upwards. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to move back a little bit. So once again, position number 1, I shake hands with somebody like this. Position number 2, I shake hands with somebody like this. Position number 3. Let's do it once again. Position number 1. Position number 2, straight. Position number 3. Awesome. In the chat box, please, which one would you like to choose to shake hands with somebody? Please write it in the chat box. Which one of these types of handshakes would you like to choose to shake hands with somebody? In the chat box. Remember, position 1, position 2 is a straight, and position 3. Which one would you like to choose? Position 2. Very good, Miriam. Would you like to say why?
It's because of culture. We do that here.
Yeah.
It's like normal. Yeah.
All right. Very good.
And you can see in the chat, everybody is texting number 2 because it's culture. It's cultural.
Exactly.
Okay. Carol has number 1.
Carol has number 1. Carol, would you like to say why you chose number 1? If you like to say why you chose number 1, would you like to say why you chose number 1? Carol? Okay. It's fine. No worries.
No, well, because I think it's like I don't know, more comfortable to share like to.
Of course.
Shake like that.
All right. Cool. Now, we want to do an activity, a cool activity. If you're using your laptop, I want you to go to this link that I'm sharing with you right now. There is a link in the chat box. Please click on this link, everybody. Let's go to this link. There is a link in the chat box. Please click on this link. You just need to rename yourself, put your name there, and that's it. There's a link in the chat box. Just please click on this link. We want to answer this question in a way that everybody can see on a collaborative board. Okay? Once again, there is a link in the chat box. I want you guys, please, to click on the link in the chat box. It's super easy. If you're using computer, it's super easy. If you're using a phone, it's also very easy. Good. I'm very happy to hear that. Yes.
Which hand position would you choose?
Exactly.
And why?
And why? Exactly. In the chat box, could you get to the link? I don't see anybody here.
What are we going to do there?
You're going to write the answer to this question. Why you choose? Yes, tell me. Go ahead. It depends.
It depends because sometimes I am greeting with teenagers, and I like to share my hands and the position, the third position.
The third position. All right. Okay, it's totally understandable. Very good. Anybody else would like to share what anybody else would like to share their opinion? Position 1, position 2, position 3. Why do you choose it? Andre says I would choose position 2 because it's more often used in culture, but I would use 1 or 3 in case of meeting friends too. Yeah, of course. In less formal settings, we choose other positions too. Now, let's go back to the presentation and let's see what our palms tell about our personality. Now, let's everybody do this. If you can do this, please go back a little bit and open your arms and do this exactly like the photo. Do it.
The power in your palms.
Yes, the power in your palms. Exactly. Do this.
Yes.
Do this to the camera. Do this. And let's see how it makes you feel. Let's see how it makes you feel. Do it. Open it. Open your arms and show your
happy,
palms.
welcome.
Exactly. That means welcome. Very good. You are welcome. Very good. What else? What other feelings do you get when you do this? What other?
Happy.
I'm happy to
He's
receive
happy.
you. I'll hug you.
Okay, I'm happy to have you here. Exactly. Very good. Lovely. What else? What else? We have,
If he can express like a kind of gratitude when he says thank you,
of
something like
course,
that.
a kind of
Yes.
gratitude, happy. Exactly. Janet says, I agree with Andres. You show you are happy. You welcome somebody. Exactly. There's power in our palms, and we have
Sí,
never
Janet.
been. Uh-huh. We have never been taught to how to use this power in our palms. Most of the times we are told since we're a little kid not to show our not to show our hands, not to show our palms, not to show it to anybody, but it is jeopardizing our success. It is making us shyer and shyer. But once we start using these hands, using these palms, these power that we have, things start to change. So if we want to talk to somebody, we want to make sure that we are not talking like this, because it would be like I'm exerting power to you. I'm telling you what to do. You have to do this. We want to make sure not to do this with not to do this with our students. We want to make sure not to point at our students like you have to do this, you have to go there. That would be also very directive and a little bit negative at some cases. We want to make sure that we use our palms like this person. We want to show our palms like facing the sky as much as possible to talk to the audience. This shows honesty. This shows that I'm trying to be as honest as possible with my audience, with my students, with my friends. So we want to make sure to do this. Now, in different situations, yes, we have a hand up here. We have somebody's yes, please. Yes.
Miriam?
Yeah, Mansour. What happens because we observe like we have co-hosts when we have classes because the internet's so unstable. So if there's a
Right.
teacher there, somebody can just take over at that moment. The thing is
Yeah.
that sometimes I see my friends and they only talk to the computer. They don't let the because I was always moving my hand. I'm always talking to my students like this
Yeah.
during virtual class.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with just doing this?
There's no
Just talking?
there's nothing there. Absolutely, I understand. There's nothing wrong with that. However, we want to make sure that we don't move them too much because then they will be distractive. Then we are
Okay.
distracting the audience by our hands. If they are excessive, if we
No,
are
no, no,
moving
no.
them excessively, then we are distracting the audience. That would be the problem. But using your hands specifically to this little box that we have here, Zoom World, it's fantastic because the students feel like they see more honesty, they see more friendly
Emotion.
behavior, they see more like the teacher is there. I can see the upper body part of the teacher and I can see his hands or her hands, and they connect easier with the teacher. Going back
So,
to
so
this slide,
it's about getting emotional. I mean,
of course,
sending emotion.
Yeah.
Okay.
of course, leveling up with the students. Going back to the slides, in different situations when we are insulted or when we are in a delicate situation or when we are faced with a dangerous situation or somebody tells us something that we don't like to hear, we may freeze like the little kid. We may flight.
Like shocking.
Exactly. We want to show our reactions through our body language. Or some students even fight back. No, teacher, this is not what you say. You know what? I need evidence. So some students fight back. Some students freeze like that. Okay, I don't have anything to say. Some students flight, like they go back, they turn off the camera, they don't talk to you, they avoid talking to you. We have these three reactions of our body to different situations. This man, Sir Francis Bacon, in hundreds of years ago, sat next to the king and he jot down all the movements, gestures, postures of the people who came before the king. And he wrote them down little by little. by experiment, he learned how the body languages are and what gestures people have when they want to lie, when they don't want to be honest, or what body languages they have when they want to be honest. So this was the first person who started this movement, this first person in history who started writing a book about body language. In the chat box, what is the problem with this photo? What is one problem with this photo? Write it in the chat box, please. What is one problem with this photo in the chat box? Or you can unmute yourself and say, if you want to. You can unmute yourself and say to, if you want. What is one problem with this photo? One problem.
Probably there's a lack of communication because both of them are in a distracting position.
Okay. All right. All right.
I agree.
Very nice. Others? Others? What is one problem in this photo?
Maybe
As-
they're like only two people and they're talking to each other. No.
They're talking to each other, the legs and the space between, exactly. As you see in this photo, when we see this body language in a lady, it works like a guard, I don't want to talk to you. You are not my friend. I don't feel very comfortable being here with you. So specify what you want here from me or from this situation. And when you see this body language, this gesture in a man, it shows that this man does not like that person at all. Because you see, he's raising his foot toward the face of his foot toward that lady. So it's an insulting body language telling, hey, I don't necessarily like you and I don't know what you want here, so just get away from here. I'm really uncomfortable. Don't even talk. Probably that girl is talking. So that would be a problem that we see in a normal world. In a Zoom world, I would call it, we don't see these things because we don't see hands, we don't see legs, we don't see feet. So that's even more difficult. These two guys from Australia, from Sydney, Australia, wrote the first most wonderful, amazing book in body language. This person, Alan Pease, is the father of body language. And Alan and Barbara wrote a book in 1970, The Definitive Book of Body Language. And in this book, they scientifically proved where body language comes from, how is it connected to our everyday life feelings, how is it connected to the way we feel, the way we talk to other people, and what it shows. I want you to please find this book and study this amazing book. Now, one important fact, environment is dominant. Example, if we are in a cold weather, naturally our body language turns to negative. So in that situation, is that person uncomfortable or is that person entertaining negative thoughts in their mind? Not necessarily. So the environment is dictating emotions and feelings. So we want to first look at the environment of where that person is. Is that person is in a cold environment? Is that person in a hot environment, in a very, very uncomfortable environment? So the environment dominates. Negative energy is 13 times more powerful than the positive energy. And body language is a two-way highway. What does it mean? I show it through my body and you see that, you receive the message, and then it goes back to my body. Meaning that if my body language is negative, not only this negative feeling is being distributed, extracted from my body to you, but also it's going back to my body. So I become negative again. So it becomes double. It's like a two-way highway. We release it, and when we get it back to our own body, that's the importance. We know about this. the space that we have. And again, in a Zoom world, this doesn't make sense, specifically with the social distancing that we are all having these days. So we talked about this. Where do our students look? To which direction do they look? Do they look toward the direction of their heart? Do they look toward the direction opposite to their heart? And what it says, what it shows from the aspect of body language is important for us to see if my student is trying to make up a story, fabricate a story, or is my student trying to be honest? Is my student trying to be absolutely honest with the language, or is my student probably looking at a place or cheating or not trying to be honest at that specific situation? This picture tells a lot about if not only our students, the people that we are living with, our friends, family members, the person that we buy from, what does it say from their personality is very, very important. Now, posture and gesture are different in body language. We hear posture and gesture. Posture would be the way I sit. I always sit like this. Okay, that would be my posture. Gesture would be my bodily movements. They can be intentional or even unintentional, like the way I nod my head. Okay. I would never do this in front of a lady. Why? Because ladies hate this in a man. They hate men doing this. It's a sign that a man is not listening to you at all. Right? This is what ladies say. But what ladies usually want in a male is listening like this, little bit, moving their head, moving your head like this. Let's do this. Let's do it together. Men in this group, if your cameras are on, let's do this together. If you want, let's pretend we are listening to a lady. Okay. All right. That would give the confidence and patience, more patience to ladies when you are talking to them or when you are listening to them. That would be very important. Now, we all as teachers, we successful teachers, we have to know the body language, the language of the mind, and we have to know how to use that language to help our students, to empower, to get better results on a daily basis. That language would be called NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. How does that language help us? If you are using iPhone, please scan this QR code, and we want to do an activity together again. I want you to write, please scan this code on a QR code. I'm going to give you the link right now. Scan this code, please. If you are using iPhone or if you have QR code reader. Or if not, there's a link in the chat box. You can click on the link, please. Let's click on the link.
Okay, the menti.com, okay?
Yes, menti.com, right. Let's click on the link, everybody, please. All right. As you click on the link, you will see...
Yes.
Did you click on the link? Very good. Now, which one of these aspects, which one of these angles, which ones do you think we use more to communicate? Which one? Which one do we use more to communicate? Let's see. Do we use words more? Okay, go ahead, choose it in Menti. Do we use words more? Do we use body language more? Do we use tonality? What is tonality? Tonality would be like volume, pitch. Which one do we use more when we want to communicate with somebody?
I got it.
All right. If you can just click on the link, let's put our thoughts here on this Menti.
Yeah.
Thank you for your participation.
Thank you. Thank you. There's a link in the chat box for the members. of this lovely webinar who are here and who didn't get access to Menti, you can just click on the link. Which one of these aspects of communication do we use more? Which one? Words, body language, or tonality? And what would be the difference? Words, body language, or
Use
yes?
I use body language.
All right.
Oh, ah,
Okay. All right.
okay, that is.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
It's,
Anybody else?
Mansour, I have got a question.
Sure.
We can also include the eye contact, okay, and facial expression for body language as well, because
Absolutely.
you can notice, for example, if a person feels angry, doesn't like something, the person feels shocking, so it's because you are looking directly, eye
Yes.
contact.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. That would be the case. So body language would be an umbrella, and under this umbrella, there is eye contact, there is facial expressions, there's gestures, postures, zone. So all of these would go under this umbrella. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much. Hi. Hi, Carmen. Nice to meet you.
Carmen,
Thank you very much for your wonderful speech or tip. Okay, according to my personal experience, I always use the three of them together. But if we're talking about which are more common, they are the words. Because words are important, but sometimes there are so many people who are really good actors. And for example, women, we do that sometimes.
Right.
And words are saying something, but we try to hide our feelings. But if I want to be honest, I use words, I use both language and the intonation also, because it's really different when I said, for example, are you telling me the truth? Or I said, are you telling me the truth? And voice and everything is different, so that person knows that I'm really angry or that I'm being serious. So words are more common, but when I personally like to be myself always, and I don't like to hold back my feelings.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
thank you, Carmen.
Thank you so much. Exactly. As you mentioned, the most common one is words. We use words a lot to communicate. However, body language and tonality as these two most very, very important aspects of communication, according to Dr. Mehrabian, this is called Mehrabian's rule. So we communicate with words 7%. We use tonality 38%. And we use our physiology or body language 55% to communicate effectively with others. If you want to look him up, he is called Dr. Mehrabian. If you want to look him up in the internet, it's really good. So an example, a good example, as Carmen, I think, mentioned, right? Her name was Carmen, right, Andres?
Yes, Carmen.
Thank you. As Carmen mentioned, we use words, and the ability to match and mirror the body language and the tonality of our students is also very important to communicate more effectively. I had a student long time ago, and that student was always telling me, like, hey, teacher, listen. I really want to tell you something that is very important to me. And one day I decided to match and mirror that story, that thing, that sentence, that cliche. I said, okay, listen. I really understand what your pain point is, and I really want to communicate with you in more depth. And that student in that situation told me, I imagine that you are the only person who is really listening to me. Matching and mirroring the body language of our students would be also very effective in communicating more effectively. So matching and mirroring would be, we match and mirror based on these three factors: our physiology, posture, gesture, blinking, breathing, tonality. Tonality would include our tone of voice, our pitch. Is it high pitch or low pitch? or tempo, volume, and then the words that we use. Now, rapport is, we talked about rapport, which is so important. The last part that we will also want to speak about is 4 types of learners. We all have these 4 types of learners. Andres, you do. Carmen, you do. All the teachers, all the lovely teachers here, we all have these 4 types of students. We have kinesthetic students who they don't, the sentence that they say is, when you get that warm, fuzzy feeling that the student want to like just lean back like this and look at you and say, yeah, okay, very nice. The ones that want to be comfortable from the aspect of physics. Auditory students, they want to listen to us. I feel like you really listen to me. That would be an example. Visual students, most students right now are visual. We know that too. And auditory digital, the students who want to count, they want to measure things. Pacing and leading, we talked about pacing and leading. We pace and lead, and the students follow us. They copy our behavior. They copy what we do. They copy the body language that we have, tonality that we have, facial expressions that we use. So we are all patterns for our students. The difference between satisfaction and happiness. This is the last slide. Then I want to connect our session to emotional intelligence. What would be the difference between satisfaction and happiness? Please, in the chat box, or if you want to write it in the chat, if you want to say it, please unmute yourself and say, what is the difference between satisfaction and happiness? One last point. Satisfaction and happiness. In the chat box, or if you don't like it, you can unmute yourself and you can say what you think about the difference between satisfaction and happiness. Satisfaction and happiness, exactly. 1, well done, okay. Number 1, well done. Karen says, in the chat box, or if you like, you can unmute yourselves and you can say the difference between satisfaction and happiness. What would be the difference between these two? Satisfaction and happiness. Number 2, great with others. Satisfaction, it's okay, you don't have to go on. All right, satisfaction means it's okay, you don't have to go on. That's exactly. Congratulations. Satisfaction means to be happy with his or her job. All right. Others, please participate in the chat box. What would be the difference between satisfaction and happiness in your idea, in your opinion? What would be the difference between satisfaction and happiness?
Once again, I would like to participate. Say something great. Okay, for me, satisfaction is something that makes someone feel good. But happiness is something deeper, something higher. It's more personal. The joy, it's something that makes you feel like if you have reached the sky or something like that. But satisfaction not always is synonymous of happiness. For example, I'm going to say if most of my students perform an activity in a good way, that's a feeling of satisfaction that I did a good work, I make a good work. But for example, when I achieve a new goal like getting a degree, that's happiness, that's joy, not only satisfaction. That's for me.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. I really appreciate it. I like your ideology. That's good. That's very good. That's so good. I'm very happy to hear that. Exactly. As some of you mentioned in the chat box, and as Karen said, satisfaction is in fact something negative and bad for us, because that would be like, until here, and that's it. You don't need to do more. You don't need to read another book. You don't need to go to that webinar. You don't need to go to that seminar. Did you pay to go to that webinar? Did you pay for that book? Did you pay for that course? Really?
That's it, yes.
Exactly. You don't need to do more. But happiness is linked with gratitude, with being grateful. I have this house, I have this computer, I have internet, and I'm happy, but I'm not satisfied. I can make it more. I can do more. I can have more. That would be for me dissatisfaction. That is very creative for us on a daily basis. I have prepared a lovely video here. I want you guys to watch this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And this is me. I work on Instagram. I work on LinkedIn like Andres. If you are interested in watching some videos, some tips on gesture, posture, body language, communication skills, I am here on Instagram, and on the right side of the screen, you can find me on LinkedIn if you are using LinkedIn, and that would be my number. It was really great being with these amazing teachers. I imagine most of you are from Guayaquil, and that's how Andres told me. I don't know if you are from other parts of the country, from Ecuador or from
Yes, we're in diverse regions,
diverse
different
regions,
provinces. Yes.
right? Some of my friends joined from Cuenca, some of them joined from Quito, from other countries. And thank you so much. This series, Lie to Me, is very, very effective in analyzing, learning gestures, postures, body language. I suggest this to you if you have some extra time and you want to watch series on Netflix or on your TV at home. Do not forget to watch this. This is a really amazing series. And thank you so much, everybody. We have some comments in the chat box. Guayaquil, Manabi. Okay, please write it in the chat box. That makes me very happy to see where you guys are from.
Los ríos.
Okay, in the chat box, write where you guys are from. Manabi, Guayaquil, all right.
Quito, Cuenca, yes, different regions. Huh?
My friend is here from Quevedo, very nice. Iran. My friend is here from Guayaquil, from Cuenca. Thank you.
Diego is from Machala, yes.
Machala, very good.
Santo Domingo de los Colorados.
Santo Domingo.
Okay. Santo Domingo is the city that is near.
It's a very nice place. I have been there, yeah.
It's
Yes,
near
yes, it's a
Quito,
very
right?
nice place.
Okay. Rios, Quevedo, Valencia, Los Rios. Very good. Thank you. Brilliant chat. Thank you. Thank you so much. The last part, I have a special guest here. My friend Ali Reza would like to give his commentary on the importance of body language and emotional intelligence too. If we have like a little bit of a time, Andres, is that okay? Yeah.
It's okay.
Sure.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yes, sure. Thank you very much, dear Professor Mansouri, for the great webinar that you had about the body language and the importance of body language tips and the tricks. So, I believe that the sales skills and the sales tricks and negotiation tips are really important nowadays. And it's very important to learn them now. And when we learn them, it's very important to apply what we learn. The sales skills, when we want to use them and when we want to apply them and put them into application, it's very important to just pay attention to this fact that these points are logic. These are all related to our logics. And if we want to just use them and apply them well, we have to just keep a great balance between our logic and our emotions. And that's just possible by learning the emotional intelligence. By learning emotional intelligence, we can be that balanced and we can be that relaxed once we want to sell something, to be able to apply what we have learned, the sales skills that we have learned. And that's where the emotional intelligence, the NLP points, and the body language becomes really important. You know, as a salesperson, it's really important to learn the body language points and the body language tips so that we understand the feelings, the thoughts, the different kinds of tricks that a customer has so that we know how to convince them. The NLP points are really important because that way we can understand and focus on the exact words that we're going to use while we're presenting our products and specifically teaching. You know, all the teachers in this webinar are the great salespeople who are going to sell the teaching. So that way they know how, when and where to focus on different specific words to convince the students who are going to be in their courses. And the most important part is the emotional intelligence, which is really important specifically in sales. And it's also really important in teaching because in all cases, we have to keep the balance and sit on the fences so that we understand where to be logical and where to be emotional. But as a salesperson, it's much more important to be a logical person because we have to remember and have this IQ to just use the tips of sales so that we can just convince the clients much better.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Andres. Thank you, Alireza. Thank you, guys. It was lovely being here with you guys at this time of this Saturday in the afternoon in this cloudy, beautiful weather. I had a beautiful time, lovely time with you. Hopefully we see each other soon. Andres, we are recording this. Where can everybody see this recorded?
Yes, for sure. The program is recorded, so they can watch again, and I also will present it another, and they can see in Facebook or in YouTube as well, no? So they can share with other people, no?
Very nice. Okay, that's great. Lovely to be here with you guys. Have a lovely afternoon. Bye.
I will say thank you so much for this wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Body language is a topic that I really feel very interested in. When I saw you the first time in the Congress, when you were presenting that,
In Salinas.
Yes, last year. I was curious, and I said that topic could be very interesting. And I see that we have a very huge audience. But many people come and welcome, and we continue for the next week. So I invite you the next week, the next Saturday, to come. Okay, Mansour, I open my program. You can come. I can share with you. You can come anytime you want. Okay, to participate and present something. So thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
And I can see you next Saturday. Have a nice weekend.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Okay, the body language, we say.
I was so excited.
Thank you.
It was so interesting.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a nice day.
Have a lovely day. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye bye. Olga.
Thank you, Andres. Thank you, Mansour.
Glendy, it was such a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you, guys.
Bye, Andres. Have a lovely evening.
Bye, Mansour. Have a nice day.